Matt Dunning, you've had time to reflect on that performance against Whitehaven on Sunday gone. What did you like? Where's the room for improvement?
There's always room for improvement, Mick, across the board. So that for me is the exciting thing when we've done the full debrief, is the amount of improvement we've got left in us. We identified some areas where we thought we were particularly good, both with and without the ball. I was very pleased in how we defended for the large chunks of the game, and I thought we showed some glimpses of what we're capable with the ball as well. So yeah, overall pleased and excited about the development we've got left in us.
Jack Walker left the field inside 5 minutes. What's the latest with Jack Walker?
Yeah, Jack left. I told you on Sunday that all I knew was he had a leg injury. It's been confirmed he's got a hamstring injury. So Jack will miss a few games. On the back of that, and I'm not going to tell you how much a few is. We've got a rough idea within our head, but some pastoral care needed for Jack is obviously devastated that he's pulled up again with an injury. So as a club, we're going to support Jack fully, and we're going to do his rehab, get him fit and healthy again, and then we'll let the media and everybody else know once his someone here.
As a head coach, you're going to have to deal with certain types of adversity throughout any season, but how much of a blow is it to lose Jack Walker in the opening 5 minutes of the first game of the season?
Yeah, it's a blow. It's a real big blow. It's pivotal in what we was looking to do this year. We've lost him for a certain amount of games. We've not lost him totally. So I think it's real important that nobody's died here. There's a rugby player got an injury, and there'll be, unfortunately, another 101 throughout the season from all teams, and it's not nice to see. But with the game comes injury. We know what it is. It's been fully scanned. We've got a full lowdown of what it is, and I've got full trust in our medical department here to make sure that Jack's fully recovered and back on the field as soon as possible.
What does his rehab look like, Mark? And I'm guessing it's important. Obviously, Jack keeps his spirits high, because obviously this is a situation he's been in numerous times in his early career.
Yeah, it has. Players will often talk to you about the rehab being dark, lonely places. We try our best, for that not to be the case here. So I've already spoke to Jack about some of the things I want him to do in and around the group. I want him to keep his rugby brain active. So I've given him some tasks that he'll do. He's obviously got his rehab that he's got to do with the physio team. And we'll keep him as involved as possible, with the group and with team meetings and with videos. As part of the leadership group, so his responsibilities there will go up twofold. And just really keep him active. He's very, very lucky that he's got a lovely young family at home as well. So he's got a young daughter at home, and I'm sure she'll take much of his time and attention as well. So he's not going home feeling sorry for himself and things like that. So he's got a real supportive family. His girlfriend, his extended family, and he's got his daughter at home. So he's in a good place. However, he's absolutely gutted that it's happened. But we'll support him. We'll put our arm around him and we'll get him ready.
Brad Foster played the second half with heavy strapping around his forehead. Is everything okay with Brad Foster?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, he went head to head with a Cumbrian prop, and I think he came out second best. So yeah, he had 6 or 7 stitches in his eye. Again, it's they call them tough stickers, I think, nowadays, don't they, for the middlemen. And he'll wear it well, and he'll wear it with pride. So yeah, it's absolutely fine.
Michael Lawrence, debut for the club, didn't feature in pre-season, did the full 80 minutes, a real captain's knock.
Yeah, and as I said to you, all the way through pre-season and leading into round 1, we made a conscious decision that we needed to wrap Michael in cotton wool, due to his illness that he'd had, and I think that decision was vindicated by the effort and the real quality that Michael delivered at the weekend.
Kevin Appo finally arrived earlier on this week. How did that first meeting go?
It was brilliant. Yeah, it was brilliant. I've spoken to Kev from the other side of the world, every other day for the last couple of weeks, and he's been telling me about how excited he was to get here, and obviously, I had a lot to do on Monday with the breakdown of the video, etc. So Jason Hurst, our CEO, and Ian Stafford, our commercial manager, went and picked Kevin up from the airport, and you know, they did some footage on that, and then I arranged to meet them back at Odsal when they got back. And as I was sat in the car park waiting for them to get back, I just saw this smile coming, you know, through the building. He's absolutely ecstatic to be here, and he's fitting straight into the group already.
In terms of where he is, because obviously as head coach you can only gauge when you actually physically see him. How is he in terms of conditioning, and how far off is he, Mark?
Yeah, so we've got to be real careful. You know, the man has been, well, he had been travelling for 32 hours when he got here on Monday. You know, he'd had to fly from Papua New Guinea to Brisbane, from Brisbane to Doho, and then Doho to England. So it's a long trip for the man. He was very tired when I dropped him off where he was staying on Monday evening. He was very tired, and you know, he's done a lot of sleeping since then. But he's in good spirits. He trained lightly with us on Tuesday. It was a light session on Tuesday, and he trained with us then. And he's due to train with us again tonight, and we'll just keep our eyes closely on him and make sure he doesn't do too much too soon. But yeah, we're not going to hold him back unless he needs holding back.
I know you don't like putting time frames on it, but is it too early to say when you envisage naming him in the squad for a game in the coming weeks?
If it all depends how it goes tonight, really. You know, if he comes through tonight and he trains fully and it looks all right and it feels all right, then we won't be far off. You know, but again, we've got a duty of care to make sure that he's right, and then we've got a culture here that means, you know, you've got to work hard to get in the team, and you know, while we've known Kev's coming for a while, he's only been in the country for a couple of days, so you know, he's got a bit of work to do yet. I'm not ruling out him being involved at York, but we'll see, and we'll take a decision on that later in the week.
It is York on Monday night. Historically, very, very close encounters, as we saw last season, and I think the preceding 3 or 4 seasons, 2 points here, 4 points there.
Yeah, it's a real good rivalry, isn't it? You know, real healthy, respectful rivalry between the two clubs. You know, going back in the last 4 or 5 years. So, yeah, they've had a change of coach there, and a change of personnel, just as we have. But I'm sure the rivalry will still be there, and it's something we're looking forward to on Monday night.
What's the early team news going into that game on Monday?
Jack Walker won't play. Other than that, we're as we were really. There's nobody. Marcus Green's picked up a thumb injury, which is just a week or two in the reserves game at Workington, so he won't be available for selection. But other than that, I think everybody's available, other than the 2 long-term ones in Billy Jowett and Brad Ho, and the suspension of Evan Skir.
Does that probably include Massimo Tongo after an impressive performance against Workington?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see on that one. It's potentially. Yeah, potentially.
Regarding the half-back situation, obviously it would appear Tom Holmes did enough on Sunday against Whitehaven to have that full-back spot mark. That leaves you then with a little bit of an headache with perhaps rejigging the 6 and 7 and 9.
Is that your perception, Mick?
That's my perception,
okay,
looking at it.
Okay. I see why. Listen, you know, Tom was outstanding at full-back. I said it on Sunday, I'll say it again. He's an outstanding half-back, but he offers us real quality and versatility in the other jobs he can do for us at full-back and at 9. We're not forgetting about young George Flanagan Jr., who we think really, really highly of as well. You know, and he offers us something out the back. And then, as you rightly say, you know, George Roby comes into the mix, Miles Lawford comes back into the mix. So, again, it's a wonderful problem to have, and it's something that we'll have a look at for the rest of the week of training and make a decision later on in the week.
What do you make of the York City Knights? Lost out narrowly to Widnes in their first game. Real good game. I managed to download it and watch it all. You know, another good competitive championship game.
Yeah, they're a good side, aren't they? Yeah, I've watched the game back a couple of times myself, and they're a good side. It was a good game. You know, they've got some quality, particularly in the spine there. Matty Marsh, Liam Harris. You know, looks like he's playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. Will Jubb at 9. So, yeah, they've got some quality in there. You know, they've got some internationals in Bailey Antrobus on the edge, and you you know, Danny Kermond, who's been around the block a few times and still produces quality as well. So they'll be upbeat from the signing of Levi Edwards this week from Leeds, and yeah, I'm sure they'll be smart and looking to put some wrongs right. So we'll have to be right on our game. We'll have to be aware of what's coming, and we'll have to be prepared to go to war.
Just on the Monday night games, Mark, how does that affect the part-time players? I'm guessing York's not that far away, but if, let's say that you've got to meet at Odsal at 3-4 o'clock, I'm guessing some of them, that part-time, they're going to have to finish your work early.
Yeah, it's difficult, Mick, it is, you know, but we're not going to complain about that. Everybody wants to see eyeballs on the sport, and the fact that, you know, the guys are getting to play on a Monday night football on telly, and you know, have the people that subscribe to it watch it on Viaplay is great. So yeah, you know, it disrupts the week a little bit, you know, so training next week becomes a little bit more difficult, and you're right, as you rightly say, you know, all of our lads work, so you know, on the back of that there'll be people having to go direct in the cars, which is never ideal, you know, and things like that, but it's the same for every club at some point, and we'll just get on with it and make the best of it.
And just finally, we've just been at the Super League launch, spoke to Rowan Smith. The Leeds injury situation doesn't look good. 11 players out. You know, I suspect you're not getting anything from Leeds, even if you wanted something from Leeds at this moment in time, when Rowan's saying he's got 11 players out and they're struggling.
I wasn't aware it was 11, but yeah, you know, I was aware that there's a long injury list there. So that's for Rowan and you know, Rich Onyx and the guys at Leeds to have a look at. I'm sure when there's somebody available, you know, Rowan will let us know. And, you know, I have spoken to him via text message once this week, and he did tell me that there'd be nobody available from the players that I was talking about. So yeah, that's, you know, that's what it is. I hope the guys at Leeds aren't too serious, and you know, they manage to get them back on the field as soon as possible. But you know, they've got a Super League opener to prepare for on Thursday next week, so I wish them all the best for that.